Let me see. You got.
In today's session, I have got a new guest, and I want to take this opportunity to introduce this guest from Florida, United States. He's a very special person. I think from all the trips that I've been to the Himalayas, I think he must have lived there in his past life because the way he talks, the way he conducts himself is very divine. And he's very self aware and he's very connected to what he truly wants. And that's the way he conducts himself. That's the speciality. It's about living life to the utmost mindfulness, consciousness. And that's really inspired me when I first met him through Zoom. Welcome, Swami Tirtha, grow young again.
Thank you, Krishiv. It's a pleasure to be here with you. We're getting to know each other after a few conversations, and I'm enjoying it immensely. So hopefully, I have something to inspire your friends and who are watching today.
Uh, it must be exciting for you, but it is inspiring for me to host you. And as I already mentioned, I'm coming there for a cup of coffee, tea, or any herbal tea that
I've
that
made a tea for
you
you
have
here.
for me. The tea of wisdom, the coffee of divinity. So I am for sure
You're
coming.
you're welcome to come and spend some time here. And we all have wisdom of special gifts, and we learn from each other. So,
Perfect. So the session for today is about going from passion to profit.
mhm.
Now, profit has a very sometimes a very negative outlook, but profit means that whatever your passion, it's actually adding value to the society, and that's why the society pays you. It compensates you for all the efforts that you have done. Now, that amount can be used for the well-being for you, for your surroundings, even
Mhm.
charity, and creating better conditions for your team members, for your family.
Mhm.
How do you stay true to your creative vision while building something commercially viable, feasible?
Well, this is a challenging question, and I'm not. If I have to compromise an inner call, everything for me is about calling. God has invited me to do something, and over many decades, I learned to say yes, even if I didn't think I wanted it, because when you say yes, all the heavy lifting is done for you. Um, so if the calling, if somebody says, "Oh, you need to do so much of this, so much, so be on social media 6 times a week, you have to be on this," as soon as there's a litany of things, the moment that litany starts to burden you, take your heart away from your calling, that's where I have to draw the line. Because then I'm no good to anybody. If I have to become commercial, if I have to do, I don't mean that in a bad way. Just for me, I do what I'm called to do, and it's a day by day process. It's not like I learned it and now I'm on automatic. We're not robots, and so one day it's yes, do a meeting. Another day it's no. You've done too many meetings. Take a break. Go for a walk. Go help somebody. Go do something. Um, go meditate. Whatever. So, how do I stay true? Um, the calling is so strong for me, and through experience of getting, walking into walls, so to speak, from not listening to my calling, you start to realize when you're about to hit a wall. So you say, this is as far as I can go in this direction at this time.
And all of this is not influenced by just the material gains.
There's a story or a statement in a book written by my grandfather Guruji, and he said, when you are fully in service, Krishna says, I believe he said, Krishna said it, I will take care of you. So because you're in service, you don't have to stop helping others to think about where your support, economic, your food, clothing, and shelter will come from. I'll take care of that as long as you are, um, since you're in service to people. And now that's when you take that out of the Vedic Himalayan context, you people in this country or in Western countries can raise a concern and say, well, so all those people who are homeless or don't have food, or are they not doing their service? I I don't, it's not for me to say. I'm not saying that that statement I just made about Krishna taking care of you is as a universal principle in this context. I don't, we're mixing metaphors there, just to be clear, because sometimes people will say a statement and then applies to everybody. But um, like somebody says, well, if somebody in your family gets sick, so that means they were a good person. I don't think you could mix those two. They're different conversations to have. But in general, for people on a spiritual path, let's put it that way, uh, the more you follow your calling, the more you're supported. And that's my direct experience over and over and over.
These podcasts, because every week I do so many that the theme of this channel is business, personal development, and spirituality. I came up with this about 4 years back, and it's today when I look at my astrological chart, that's how I can resonate with it now. But subconsciously, it just came out that I want to talk about business and personal development and spirituality. Now I'm rediscovering the reason why this happened. And
Mhm.
when you said that, if you have to be 6 weeks on social media, then that does that create like an obligation? Like, you have to do this. It, what I feel is that that makes the process very mechanical rather than mindful and conscious.
Well, it takes the spirit walks away.
Yes,
Spirit
because now
goes
you
like,
just have to. You're
yeah.
running in the rat race of just creating any content
But
because you
again, the
have to.
thing is, when years ago I did the Ayurvedic, back before it was known about in America, and and then one day it became Deepak Chopra went on the Oprah show, and the next day all his books were sold out. Everybody knew about Ayurveda. And I was in the right place at the right time from listening to a vision that I got. And so you listen to your vision first, you listen to your calling first. For me, you're the only one doing it. each of us have a calling. It's going to be different than everybody else's in some way. And it's not about what anybody else, like people say, Ayurveda, what is that? Why would you do that? I couldn't advertise it according to Guerrilla Marketing Book because I could do a gazillion ads, but nobody knows the word Ayurveda. It just won't even, they'll never come to my shop. So I learned very quickly, I just got to do what I got to do. And then things open up, doors open up for you. So when you close the door of, some people say, validate me, the mantra of validate me means you're always looking out. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? You're never going to produce your authentic calling when you're listening to everybody else because they didn't have your calling. So, but when you do shut all the doors down and say, okay, God, uh, what you say, then then the new doors open for you.
I had planned, few more questions, but I feel like what if we just continue this topic a little more and then keep the other questions for the upcoming sessions? Because what you've said has really resonated with me. There was a time when I was doing Instagram live streams every single day, and the
Mhm.
audience knows. Then the I noticed that the magic was lost, and every morning I used to carry this burden that I
Mm.
have to do a live stream today. I stopped doing that for so long time, and now I do it once in a while, and it actually results to much better, deeper content and increased engagement. So maybe less is more. You
Well,
know,
there is a book that came out called the 80-20 principle.
yeah,
And 80% of your success comes from 20% of
20%.
what you do and who you do. And
So I
so
would
that's,
like to call it like this 20 and 80.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is that right in Western thinking, it's been proven, just do what's in your heart, because that's maybe even 1090, you know.
Maybe,
Uh,
yeah. Or
and
maybe 595.
it could be,
But
it
no,
could,
let's even if I do 20% of the things that resonate with me, they'll
yeah.
give me 80% of the results. The remaining 20% comes from your habits, from the practices you
Yeah.
do. Like there are some things that mostly everyone should be doing every single day.
I do want to say that if your calling is to be a business entrepreneur that sells, I don't know, jewelry or sells homemade furniture or photography, then being on Instagram every day may well be the best thing for you because it swells your heart with joy and that's your path. So I don't mean, just to be clear, that I'm not judging anyone. Nothing is bad unless it's not for you. Then it's difficult. Difficult means bad. So
I love talking to you. I can go on for I don't know how many hours, but I would love to summarize what we spoke about in today's session.
sure.
And in today's session, I can basically summarize it in one sentence, which is a sentence that, and I would like to quote Swami Tirtha. If you follow your calling, people will support you.
because your calling is
Summarize this in one line, and this is that.
because, and the reason for that is because you're, if God says, what would you like to do this? That's what he says to me. He doesn't say, you better do this or nothing like that. Then it's something for humanity. Maybe not a lot of people, but I'm not, we all have it. It's not just me. I'm not saying that. And as soon as you're doing, if you say the right note, the first note, you see somebody come on to like America's Got Talent, a singer, not even before the first note, they walk out and the audience goes crazy. They feel that person, just their vibe. Or the first note, they start going crazy. They're authentic. So when we're following our calling, we're authentic. Any of us, all of us. And people need authenticity more than anything else, and more these days than ever before, because everything is artificial now with artificial intelligence. I'm not putting it down, but making a joke, really. Uh, be authentic, and people they're drawn to authenticity. No matter how good AI will be, authenticity cannot be um, gotten any other way than through a human being.
Authenticity and vulnerability are just
Yeah,
natural to human
yeah,
beings, and walking away from that would be walking against yourself.
yeah. And it's difficult. I'll tell you a funny story just to uh, illustrate this. Years ago,
Sure.
I lived in up in the mountains of New York, and I had a little acreage, and I had a scythe, something that you'd swing it, and it cuts the grass for you. So I was out on the grass, just enjoying this thoroughly, just enjoying cutting the grass, me and nature. And then God says to me, "Hey, would you like to do this?" And I said, "Oh, I've got a better idea. It's much more fun." And he said, okay. And I struggled so hard to make that thing happen. I don't even remember what it was, but I struggled and struggled, and finally it happened. And there was no joy in it. It wasn't a great thing. And I said, okay, let's try it your way. And it was supported. The whole thing just happened effortlessly. And the whole process from start to finish was elevating spiritually, joyfully. And in that moment, I said, okay, from now on, anytime you ask me, I'm going to say that's exactly what I want to do, because it's always connecting me closer to God. I mean, He's working through me in that moment. So it's a very real, it takes the time to learn to do that, but there's very, there's less and less conflict in the mind. Oh, I really want to do this with what everybody else does. I really want to be a part of the crowd. There's there's nothing wrong with it when that's the calling, but when it's like not today, it's like you learn to listen because it's always for your best interest.
It was truly, truly, truly that one line, and I'm going to repeat this once more. If you align to
Okay.
your calling, people will support you, universe will support you, nature will support you.
Yes.
And I have seen real life
Yes.
examples at spiritual retreats happening, how things are manifesting, and there's no logic behind that. There is only and only magic.
Magic. Absolutely magic.
Thank
Yeah.
you
I
very
mean that.
much. And yeah, that one line really stood out. I'll put that in the description.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me, Krishiv.
Thank you.